stories and rumors you need to know, including has CM Punk got issues with WWE, a WWE match finish being kept secret, Triple H calls out the fans, a big name leaving WWE, Chad Gable has been given the clap, Speed returning to WWE, does Edge have heat with a WWE star, and much more. Now, first story looks at CM Punk has issues with WWE. Now, according to a new report, CM Punk is now eager to make his WWE return on the July 6th edition of Raw as it emanates from Chicago. However, creative plans are having him move to SmackDown for a major storyline with Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes. Punk has been away from WWE television since the Raw after WrestleMania 42. While his absence has largely been viewed as part of WWE's long-term creative plans, The Observer reported that the former world champion has been lobbying internally to return in his hometown of Chicago on the Raw brand. Despite that preference, WWE's current direction reportedly involves transitioning him to SmackDown, where he's expected to begin a high-profile rivalry with Cody Rhodes. Speculation was also addressed that Punk's absence could be related to backstage tension. While The Observer claimed that the situation has become a major issue, they did note it would also be inaccurate to suggest that everything is completely problem-free behind the scenes. Even though Punk is earmarked for SmackDown, he was pushing very hard for his return to be on the Raw show because it's in Chicago. His departure was basically to get him ready for moving to SmackDown and eventually a program with Rhodes, but to say there are no issues at all, that wouldn't be correct. It's not as bad as some have made it out to be, but it's not like there aren't any issues at all. The report adds that the WWE's decision to place Punk on SmackDown is intended to create a more balanced roster, as Raw currently features several other companies' biggest stars, including Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. If plans remain unchanged, Punk's eventual return is now expected to set the stage for one of WWE's marquee feuds heading into SummerSlam. Next up, a WWE star is never coming back to the ring. It seems that former WWE champion Big E has seemingly closed the door on returning to the ring ever again, admitting that the risks involved with another match simply outweigh the rewards. Speaking during an appearance on Insight with Chris Van Vliet, the former WWE champion reflected on his career, the neck injury that changed his life, and why he's finally come to terms with full retirement. The devastating neck injury Big E suffered in 2022 left him with a broken C1 vertebrae and permanently altered his outlook. While he acknowledged that wrestling fans often believe no retirement is ever truly final, he explained that he has reached a point where preserving his long-term health matters more than stepping back into the ring for one last run. He also admitted that while he understands why fans continue to hope for a comeback, he believes they will feel differently if they fully understood the seriousness of his injury. Rather than chasing one final match, he's now focusing on enjoying a healthy future with his fiancée and pursuing opportunities outside of the ring, believing that protecting his well-being is ultimately the right decision, and we couldn't agree more. Next up, a WWE match finish being kept secret. Now our next story looks ahead to tomorrow's Night of Champions, as spoilers are now leaking out ahead of the show. Now, whilst we won't outright spoil match finishes of any kind, there is one interesting report related to the Jey Uso vs Oberfemi King of the Ring final. According to WrestleVotes via Fightful Select, the match finish is being strictly kept under wraps, and unlike any other match finishes for the show, it hasn't leaked out. Is this down to a potential return in the match, or is WWE worried that if the planned match finish leaks online, it may influence fan interest in watching the show? Now, another notable report from WrestleVotes relates to Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker's cage match. According to the reputable source, numerous match finishes have been pitched, and it remains unclear what the match finish WWE has decided to go with for tomorrow's show. Next up, Triple H calls out the fans. Now, Triple H has now come under fire once again for calling out the WWE fans. The Game was interviewed by Stephen A. Smith yesterday, and he outright claimed that fans take the WWE product way too seriously. The other aspect of that is, I think that people lose perspective sometimes because we're just fun. We're fun. And sometimes people take it too seriously. Sometimes people get too caught up in it, but it's there to entertain, man. A Triple H would add that if people want to distract themselves from the world, then WWE is the place to do it. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. If you just want to turn off for a couple of hours and tune into something cool that you can just lose yourself in and have a good time, WWE is the place to do it. And if you've never seen it live, I'm telling you, come to a live event, come to one of our PLEs, come to a TV, there's nothing like it in entertainment. Now, these comments have been the talk of social media as Triple H has had this weird vendetta against the fans, just because they have an opinion. One of the issues with these comments is that Triple H is asking fans to not emotionally invest in the product and basically just be a passive viewer. WWE fan and YouTuber Guru Larry mentioned on X replying to one of our quote tweets, "Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next product." This is exactly what it is. Additionally, he's asking fans to pay thousands of dollars to attend shows and then act like what they're seeing isn't that serious. All it is consume, 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 yeet, 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 and don't complain. Now, there's a lot of mixed messages here, and Triple H yet again struggles with how to appeal to the audience in his interviews. Next up, future WrestleMania main event is revealed. Now, another topic discussed by head of WWE Creative was the future of WWE, specifically which names are going to main event future WrestleMania events. Triple H would pinpoint to names such as Femi, and he even stated that Femi is going to be as big as anyone has ever been in pro wrestling. When you see this new crop of talent, Femi is going to be as big as anybody has ever been in this business. Sol Ruka has an opportunity to be a standout star. Javon Evans is one of the young guys. He reminds me of a young Jeff Hardy that just has this incredible moveset. It just has an energy and youth about him that you can't look away from him. And the game would then shift his attention to Trick Williams before stating that these names are going to main event WrestleMania, and that's an outright promise. You know, Trick is just a personality plus. Again, he's another guy you can't look away from. These are the young talent that are going to take WWE into the future. You're seeing them rise now, but 2, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, these are going to be the main events of WrestleMania. I promise you. And Triple H makes some promises, but we're still waiting for the good things come to those who wait with LA Knight. Nevertheless, it's pretty obvious that some of these stars like Femi will be WrestleMania main eventers. Next up, the UK set for a huge show. And while the UK doesn't have a WWE PLE planned for the foreseeable future, it looks like London is going to receive a huge Raw show next year. According to WrestleVotes via Fightful Select, the current locker room speculation in WWE is that the go-home edition for WrestleMania 43 will take place at the O2 Arena in London. There was chatter backstage at WWE this past week about a potential return to London, England. It was stated during the June 25th episode of WrestleVotes on Fightful Select that per those familiar with the discussion, there was a locker room speculation that the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw ahead of WrestleMania 43 could emanate from the O2 Arena in London. WrestleMania 43 is scheduled to take place in April of 2027 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. However, an official date for the show is yet to be confirmed. The aforementioned go-home episode of WWE's flagship show will be the first go-home edition of Raw to take place outside of North America. Next up, a new WWE game. It seems that after years when Stephanie McMahon revealed that a WWE RPG game was being developed in 2022, it is finally now coming out, but it won't be for consoles, it'll be for mobile. WWE is going to release WWE Generations Eras Collide, mixing both legends of yesteryear and superstars of today in the same game. The game will be turn-based, where you can level up the wrestlers and compete against teams of 3. The roster for the game has also been official online, and it's a long list. But SmackDown Hotel did note that superstars in Generation that are not in 2K26 will be Erwin R. Shyster, Million Dollar Man, Tamina, and Wendy Richter. Is this the first game that Wendy Richter has ever been in a WWE game? Seems about right. What do you guys think of this game? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, why Chad Gable has been given the clap. Chad Gable has a new entrance theme in WWE, and one of the features of his new entrance is a clapping routine that Gable does along with a crowd. According to WrestleVotes via Fightful Select, the new routine is linked to a larger creative concept involving the city of Minnesota. WrestleVotes on Fightful Select spoke with a source who indicated that Chad Gable's clapping routine for his entrance is likely tied to a larger creative concept involving the city of Minnesota. The NFL Minnesota Vikings play their home games at US Bank Stadium, the location of SummerSlam 2026, August 1st and 2nd. The Vikings fan base has a chant where they shout "Skol" while clapping their hands together. Gable is from the Minneapolis area. Gable is heavily rumored to play a huge role at SummerSlam this year, yet it remains unclear what this could involve. Next up, a big name leaving WWE. Now, a big WWE contract is set to expire relatively soon. According to Sean Rossap during his Q&A series, Bayley's WWE contract is up in the next year, and it's likely that every company will have interest in her. I don't think she'll hit the open market, but Bayley is a big one that could be on the horizon. Her contract is supposed to be up over the next year, and obviously every company in the world will have interest in her. WWE should also be interested in retaining her. If I were her, I would leverage the hell out of this situation and get the biggest contract of her life with a complete no-cut clause. Now, whilst many fans may be under the impression that Bayley is a WWE lifer, her WWE booking hasn't been the best in recent years, so we can't rule out her potentially making a move to a promotion such as AEW. We have to remember last year at WrestleMania, she was pulled from the show with little to no notice, and events like this are without a doubt going to play a huge factor in her contract negotiations. Next up, Speed returning to WWE. Now, I show Speed impressed fans with his brief WWE run this year, and now it looks like Speed is interested in another run in the promotion. Speaking to Pat McAfee, the honorary Vision member stated that at some point in the future, he's going to take WWE more seriously. It makes sense. I genuinely think at some point in my career, I will take WWE more serious and actually able to deliver my full self into it and immerse myself into it. Speed definitely has all the tools to be a big star for WWE, and it's appreciated that he acknowledges the work it takes to succeed in the company. Next up, TNA signing a former WWE star. Could TNA be about to sign a former WWE star? According to WrestleVotes via Fightful Select, TNA has interest in former IC champion Apollo Crews. WrestleVotes on Fightful Select has heard chatter about TNA Wrestling having interest in former WWE Intercontinental and US champion Apollo Crews. Crews departed WWE in April 2026 after 11 years with the company. This signing makes a ton of sense, as Cruz was a reliable talent for WWE and would fit in extremely well with the current TNA roster. And finally, does Edge have heat with a WWE star? Now, final story today looks at a new interview from Adam Copeland, aka Edge, as the Hall of Famer has finally addressed the now infamous promo segment with Ricky Saints on AEW television a number of years ago. Now, years later, during his appearance on Shaq Wrestling, he addressed the promo and he stated that it was a promo just like it would be seen in the Attitude Era.
We got out there, he started, cutting promo on me. I was like, well, I'm not in an angle with him. Okay. And that was it. It was just like 1,000 promos in the Attitude Era, By the next day, it's like, okay, now what do we got? Like, I don't. I'm sure Ricky doesn't. I don't care.
The current AEW star then claimed that fans read too much into things, and the exchange the two had was simply nothing more than a promo.